Magazine news and gossip, the unseen drama behind the spotlight. What if love never truly ends, it just changes its stage? What if a single scene, meant only for fiction, suddenly felt too real? And what if the ghosts of a past romance refused to stay buried, haunting not hearts but headlines? Welcome to Magazine News and Gossip, the channel where fame, passion, and mystery intertwine, and where every story hides another story behind it. If you crave the truth behind the glittering curtain of celebrity life, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and join our community to support our growing family of curious minds. Today, we dive into a controversy that's shaking the very foundations of Turkish social media, a saga of emotion, professionalism, and unhealed memories. Long before the premiere date, the newest romantic drama starring Demet Özdemir and Kagate Yılısoy had already conquered the internet, not with official teasers or glossy posters, but through rumors, leaks, and whispers. It all started with a few fleeting clips that somehow escaped the tight security of the set. Within hours, those seconds of footage exploded across every corner of the web, igniting fierce debates and passionate defenses. What viewers saw or believed they saw was something electric, a chemistry so raw, so intense, that fiction and reality seemed to melt into one. In those leaked moments, Demet and Kagate weren't just acting. They were living an emotion so vivid that even seasoned fans found themselves holding their breath. The camera lingered on their closeness, the subtle exchange of words, and that one kiss, a moment so natural that many felt they were witnessing something private rather than scripted. The result? Instant virality. Hashtags trended for days. Fan pages clashed. Entertainment columns devoted entire spreads to analyzing every glance, every breath. But amid this storm of fascination and judgment, another name began echoing through the headlines, a name from Demet's past, Yaman. For longtime fans, Can and Demet's story was the stuff of legend. Their partnership in Erkensikas, Early Bird, had once captivated millions. Their chemistry on and off screen had blurred the line between character and reality, giving rise to one of the most passionate fan bases in Turkish television history. But like so many stories written in the language of fame, theirs eventually ended quietly, respectfully, and, many hoped, permanently. Until now. When the first teaser of Demet's new series dropped, insiders whispered that Can's reaction was far from indifferent. According to sources close to the actor, he reportedly muttered a few loaded words after watching the preview. Enough is enough. No one knew what he truly meant, but those 3 words were enough to reignite the fire. Was it jealousy? Nostalgia? Or a protector's instinct disguised as indifference? Social media went wild. Comment sections turned into battlefields. Fans were divided, some defending Can's feelings as natural, others insisting he had no claim over Demet's artistic choices. If you find this tangled web of love, art, and emotion as fascinating as we do, hit that like button right now and tell us in the comments. Does Can Yaman have the right to feel uncomfortable, or is this simply the price of fame and professionalism? And don't forget to subscribe and join Magazine News and Gossip, where we uncover the stories that others are too afraid to tell. The leaked clips that sparked the uproar showed an undeniably passionate scene between Demet and Kagate, a moment bathed in soft light, performed with stunning realism. For many, it was proof of their unmatched skill as actors. For others, it was something more, something intimate. Sources from the inner circle claimed that Can's frustration wasn't purely emotional, it was also about reputation. One insider allegedly quoted him saying, "They didn't have to push it that far. There are limits, even in art." To some, this sounded like concern for Demet's public image. To others, it reeked of possessiveness masked as care. Meanwhile, Kagete Yulisoy stayed composed amid the chaos. Calm, grounded, and focused, he issued a short but sharp statement that seemed to cool the flames. Demet is an incredibly professional actress. Everything you saw on screen was written, rehearsed, and directed. His tone was serene, his words precise, the mark of someone who knew exactly what to say and what not to say. Demet, however, chose silence. In an era of instant reactions and viral statements, her quietness spoke louder than any press release. Some praised her restraint, calling it the move of a true professional. Others wondered if her silence hid exhaustion, the fatigue of constantly being compared to a past she had already outgrown. As expected, social media split into two camps. On one side were those defending Demet. She's an actress, not a memory, one user posted on X. Yaman should move on and respect her craft. On the other side stood those who insisted that emotions can't be erased. You can't just delete history. Of course, he feels something, he's human. Every platform turned into a digital courtroom. Every user became judge and jury. Fans began dissecting the timeline when the trailer dropped, when Ken supposedly reacted, when Demet posted her photo. Even international outlets picked up the story, fascinated by how personal emotion could erupt so violently from professional art. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the emotional side of stardom, make sure to subscribe to Magazine News and Gossip and join our growing community, because here, we explore the truths behind the headlines. Now, let's talk boundaries. Where do professionalism and personal history collide? Should ex-partners remain silent, or does silence itself become a statement? Industry analysts believe the renewed attention could overshadow Ken's upcoming projects, a reality he's long tried to avoid. As one journalist remarked, in Turkish television, emotions never truly stay private. Once you fall in love in the spotlight, that love never really ends. It just changes its script. For Demet and Kagete, this spotlight has been both a blessing and a burden. Their chemistry, meant to elevate their new series, instead sparked a nationwide debate about the limits of realism in acting. How real is too real? When does authenticity become controversy? Crew members reportedly praised Demet for her professionalism and emotional discipline on set. The director himself allegedly commended both actors for portraying intensity without losing control, a testament to their craft. But the audience? The audience was not so restrained. Their reaction proved something profound. People crave authenticity, but rarely are they prepared for its consequences. Media psychologists have weighed in, calling this case a perfect study of projected emotions. One analyst explained during a morning talk show, audiences tend to perceive real emotion where great acting exists. Add a shared romantic history between the performers, and the boundary between art and life dissolves entirely. And there lies the heart of it all. Yaman's name continues to orbit around Demet's, not because of lingering affection, but because of a story that refuses to die. The irony? The more he insists on silence, the louder that silence becomes, interpreted as heartbreak, anger, or hidden passion. In the end, this isn't just about a kiss on screen or an old flame reignited. It's about the blurred line between art and reality, performance and confession, fame and feeling. So what do you think? Is this nothing more than a professional misunderstanding, or proof that the past always leaves traces too deep to hide? Tell us in the comments below. And if you haven't already, subscribe and click join to support Magazine News and Gossip. Because here, we don't just tell stories. We explore the emotions that make them unforgettable.